all I'm going to do is put behind a sky. So it's going to be a light blue sky. I'm just going to come down to probably here. And that way that I'll have the forest grounds here, foreground. But in the back here I'll have a little bit of blue sky peeking out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into my white. I have a 1 inch or 2 inch brush, synthetic, and just putting on some white paint just to get it started, make it nice and wet and slippery. I'm not going to use the magic white because I don't want to have it wet too long, so I'll just use white with a little bit of water. You can mist it with water if you like. There we go. So I'm just putting on some white, and I got a damp brush, and like I say, you can mist it. I'm just going to dip into a bit of blue, and then I'm just going to bring that up here. I want it nice and bright, so I'm going to have to add more white. And my canvas is 16 by 20, so that's why I got a bigger brush this time. So I'm going to go into my white again because I want to make sure that I got a nice light blue background. Ultramarine blue, it can be pretty strong. There we go. Just a plain blue, because we're going to have a lot of trees here. We don't have to worry about our sky being perfect, but a nice and bright blue sky in the background peeping out is nice. Good. Nice. See, the more white you add to it. I didn't add very much blue. I'm more white than anything. I'm still adding white. There we go. I started off with a bit dark up there, so add a little more white. Just going to go across to blend it all out. Just go back and forth. Add more white. Coming down to about here, so. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit of blue to the corner of my brush. It's very strong, so I don't want to have to be fighting with my blue. There we go. Nice. Now I'm just going to pick up white. Nice. See, the more white you add, the smoother it looks. Still got blue on the corner of my brush there. It's nice though. There we go. Look at all that blue coming off the corner of my brush. Isn't that cool? Now I can pick up lots of white again. And I'm just going to bring that in there like that. I like doing this because that way you got separations of your blue and white. It's not just one plain blue sky. It's got shadows and different values of blue. Alright. Good. Nice. So make sure you clean up the bottom. How far you want to come down. Just go back and forth. Good. So when you're happy with your background, I don't know what that is. There we go. Good. Now, let that dry, and then we'll start putting on our background forest or trees, but we're going to start off a little differently today. So make your own green or use sap green. I'm just going to get a kind of a lighter green for the background. More yellow than blue. Or if you have, yeah, if you have green, add yellow to lighten it up. Might even add a little bit of white to lighten it up. Alright, and a teeny weeny bit of red to give it an earthy color. Okay, so as soon as you get that, I got a 1-inch bristle brush. Alright, it's my magic brush, I called it. It's a chip brush. You can get them in my Amazon shop. So what I want to do first is create a nice green, as if there's lots of green back here. Alright, so just tap, tap, tapping. I'm going to come down to where I want that to end. Okay, see? Tap, tap, tap. And what I'm doing is I'm leaving some open space. That's why you're going to be able to see some of your sky coming through. All right, you can do the sides if you like. Good. So you do the whole top like this. Right. This makes it look like a forest in the back. So when we put our trunks, our tree trunks on and more leaves and things, you'll see how nice it'll look. So this is the easiest way to do this. You could put your trunks on first and then put all your leaves and background on after, but this is a much easier way. Okay, see, you got some of your sky peeping through. Just coming down to the foreground, because this is going to be grassy too, but I just want to separate it so we're not getting confused. Alright. It's nice that some of your greens are darker than others, so don't try to get the same colors all the time. When you go back in to pick up, to reload, mix up some of your darker green with your lighter green, so it's okay. See how I got light greens and dark greens there? See that? You can even tap on top of the ones you did just to bring them out a bit more. So we'll do that whole top. The whole top of that canvas, okay? Because our horizon line is, I'd say, cut in thirds. That's about a third, you know, so about a third way up. Now you have the right brush so that you get some really nice leaves, okay? So which is a bristle. You can use the chip brush or you can use a big 1-inch bristle brush. As long as you can tap, tap, tap and get those nice textured looking leaves, alright? See? See how you're getting that leafy look? Good. I like the way some of them are darker than others. Good. Good, good. Some nice dark ones there, look at that. Your brush will do all the work for you. Just don't push too hard. Just let the paint fall off the tips of the brush. I'm just bringing in some darks on top of those light ones there also. Just tapping around, not doing anything complicated. This is the fun part, when you can do a painting where you don't have to worry about having things perfect. Anything, you know, just tap, tap, tap. You got these gorgeous trees and leaves. And you can do lots of paintings like this. Put a bunch of leaves on the background and then put your trunks on and you got beautiful trees. Yeah. Lots of landscapes have trees. Good. See, it's all you need. Nice. Now we can work down here. Well, I'm just going to make it a little bit darker down there so I can distinguish between that background. Just using the same colors. I'm just making my own green. Like I said, use your sap green if you want. Add a little bit of red if you want to earth it up a little bit. And I'm going to make it darker. Like I said, I just want to distinguish between the top. Just tap, tap, tapping. Good. Just get that on there. This is your foreground. These are your background trees. I think when you get this painting done, you'll want to paint more forests because they're so easy. All depends on your, your brush, right? If you got a brush that you can work with and have fun with. See how I'm getting those, see how I'm getting all that top parts there sticking up? That's the brush doing that. The brush is really helping me a lot. Give me grassy looks. You can even use a fan brush if you want. As long as it's bristle. You want to be able to tap, tap, tap and get that texture. I just threw in a little bit of color there by adding some red. Nice. Good. And I don't even totally mix it on my palette. Just pick up a bunch of colors and start tapping on my canvas. And that way I can get all kinds of values of greens. Get the dark, mediums, light greens just by tapping on my canvas. See, you can see I don't even totally mix it. Just put a bunch of colors together and let the canvas take care of it and the brush. Alright, that's nice. That's nice. Good. Good. So for the background trunks, I'm going to take a long liner brush. We're going to change our brushes, but for the very background small trees, I'm going to take some of this burnt sienna and white. Alright. And then I'm going to add a little bit of water so it's dripping. Then I'm going to go through the paint again so it doesn't drip too much. And then I'm going to add these very small background trees. Alright, we have lots of them. So you can put in a lot of those. Make sure you got white on there too, so that you can, we need to see them. That's why I got the burnt sienna. You can use burnt umber. Alright, so add as many as you want back there, just boom, boom, Alright. Now let's add a flat chiseled edge brush. Make sure it's nice and synthetic, and nice and chiseled. I'm going to come forward with more. Okay, so we're going to add, kind of a grayish color. I'm going to add blue to my burnt sienna and white, kind of a grayish color. You can have whatever color you want, tree trunks. And we're going to come forward, so we'll come forward on the grass more, and then we'll touch and pull up. Touch and pull up. Alright. So I'm going to bring him forward now this time. See? Now the chisel edge brush is very easy to work with. You should be able to get some really nice. Just go straight up. You can come between some trees and bring it forward a bit more so it looks like, okay, so you go back closer to the trees, to the horizon line, and then when you want them to come forward, just move forward onto grass and pull up. There we go. It's okay to have some bigger ones. Good. Good. Kind of blue. I want to get a grayish color, so I'm going to add a bit more black this time. Good. How far ahead should we come, I wonder? This big one's coming up here. So mix some colors together, like burnt sienna, black, a bit of blue. I'll give you all different colors. Just going to work a couple here that I want to stand out a bit more. The further you come ahead, the thicker your trunks. Bigger the tree. All right. Let's get some more in there. See how I'm getting some nice big ones there. I'm just touching and pushing and pulling up, so that way I get a big tree. Okay. Got a nice big one right here. There we go. Good. So you may have to go over some of these because not enough paint came off. See how they fade out in the back, the smaller ones? Gives it a sense of distance also. Good. So some nice big ones here. I'm just going over what I did because the paint didn't come off completely. Good. Nice. Nice trees. Good. All right. Let's get this one here filled in. Good. Now, let's add some branches. So get your liner brush again. And make sure it's nice and wet so that it'll come off easily. And then put some branches out here like this. See? Make sure your brush is nice and wet so it'll move. Sometimes it'll drip a little bit, but it's not too bad. Looks like a nice forest already. Isn't that cool? So it's not too hard. Alright, so we'll have to highlight some of those trees on the edges there. And we decide where the light is coming in. I'm going to take out my 2-inch, a 1-inch chip brush, and I'm going to get a dark green, your sap green, okay? Nice dark green. Even add a bit of burnt sienna to it. And I'm going to add some leaves on the trees, see? But I don't want the big lot, just on the edges there. Alright? I don't want to overpower it with a lot of leaves. This is a fantasy forest, so you can have whatever you want, alright? So I'll do the same over there on the other side. This one has a little bit more. Just tap, tap, tap. There we go. Good. A little bit in the center here. A little bit down here. Good. Lots of trees. It's nice. Now I'm going to put some grass up around the trees here. All right. Just tap, tap, tap. So I'm going to have some darks and lights down here. So have nice dark green down here. Grass up around the trees here. And some dark over here. I'm leaving that center there a bit light. I want the light to come in. Some grass up around there. That's it. Good. See that bright spot looks nice. I'm going to get a smaller bristle and I'm going to add some more grass in the background trees there. I'm going to add a lighter color of yellow and white with a bit of green. So you got a dirty palette, so you tap into your green, lots of yellow and a bit of white. And that will brighten it up for you. And then we'll add some light grass back here. Good. That's it. Get it nice and bright back there. Around the tree trunks. Gotta get that nice and bright. So white and yellow, not so much green. I want to get that light there. Trying to get a bright yellow. I don't want it white. So I'll just keep working with it till I get what I'm looking for. Some more yellow. Tap, tap, tap. White and yellow. See how nice and bright that is? But I want it more on the yellow side, so trying to get more yellow there. When that dries, we'll do some more highlighting there. Just trying to get a little bit in around here, but I still want to keep those darks. That's nice. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to let that dry completely, and then we're going to put our unicorn on there. Now you can use a pattern, you can draw it out yourself, you can draw it out on a piece of paper first, but make sure you draw it out before you try to draw it on your canvas, because if you don't like it, then your whole painting is ruined. So make sure that you use a pattern or you draw it freehand on a separate piece of paper, and then we'll put this little guy in, and I might move him over a little bit this way. So it has to be completely dry. And then I might put either a fairy or butterflies. He's looking at something, so I wanted to make it look like he's looking at something. All right. So that's nice and big too, isn't it? Yeah, I want it to be nice and big. So if you're using a 16 by 20 canvas, try to get them as big as about 8.5 by 11. That's what I have there. If you got an 8.5 by 11 canvas, then you're going to go smaller. So, you know, fit it in between your trees and begin in the front so that he's really standing out, but he's not taking over the whole forest. Okay? So that way you can add butterflies, birds, fairies, whatever you want to put in your magical forest. So all I did here was I put my pattern or my printout on my canvas, which is very dry. I waited till the next day actually, because I tried it and it still had a little bit of a dampness even though I dried it with a hairdryer. So I said, well, I'll wait till the next day. And when I did, I got much better results. So now I can see. I'm using carbon paper. Okay, I can paint over the lines, so that's no big deal. And now I can see the drawing of the horse or the unicorn. Okay, so you see I have a pen. I pushed hard, and when I lifted up, if I couldn't see it real plain, I drew over the lines I could see with the pen. That's how I made them nice and dark. So it was a bit of a process to get it transferred, but you can, so now when you take it off, you can see it pretty good. You know, you might have to redraw some of it. So let's get a nice purplish color for the base underpainting of the horse, of the unicorn I should say. So I just took some red and a bit of blue and I put that together. And depending on how light you want your underpainting, you add white. I think that'll be nice because that'll give you some really nice shadows. Let's try that. Now, even though there are highlights, and this will happen after we get the base underpainting done first. This is the way I do it, okay? You can do it whatever way you want. If you find an easier way to do this, you go ahead. But this is the way I like to do things. I like to get an underpainting done first, so that way I can get the shape. Once I get the shape and I know the shape looks good, then I'm on my way to do my highlights, my finishing touches, my shadows. Alright, now this is the better way to do it for shapes like animals and portraits and things. As for trees and things like that, it's not so bad. It's not because it's a little easier to get the shapes. But I'm using chiseled edge brush so that when I get up against those lines, I stay inside the lines. Remember when you were a kid and it's like, stay inside the lines. Alright. So keep doing that until you fill it in. Here I'm going to make the face a little lighter so I can distance it or separate it from this other part so I don't lose the face. So if you need to do that in certain spots, you go ahead. Just separate it. Make sure you know where the eye is. So just want to make sure the face is in the right place. So whatever little tricks you have to use to make sure you can see everything properly. What I find is separating them by color or by value, okay? Because we're still using the same purple, but I'm changing the value up a little bit just so that I can see the separation here. Because if I end up putting all that together, I'll be confused about where the face goes. So this helps a lot. Make sure I don't lose that eye. It's here somewhere. See, now I know where that is, that shape of that head. Doesn't have to be perfect, it's only an underpainting, but we'll keep it so that we can see it better. Okay. We can go back to darker purple for this here so we can see it. And the tail. Now, now you can see everything. Now what I'm trying to accomplish is to get all the darks and the lights in the right place, and then when we finally finish up the unicorn, we will be able to put in more highlights and bring it all together. Right now we're just doing basic highlights, basic shadows, and that way we can establish where we want everything, and then we can go back in and finish it up by doing the detailing and where you want all your highlights and shadows. So I just shaped up the head a little bit better here by adding some more background, because I didn't like the shape of the head. I'm just going to take some white on a round brush. Just going to make this here a little more interesting by adding these. Just going around like that, just to give it kind of a better shape. Just white paint. Just over and around. See, isn't that cute? Gives it a little more interest. I'm going to use a dark shade in the ears to shape them up a little bit better. I'm just going to add a bit of black on this side here. Just to shape them up a bit better. At least you can see them better now. And I'll put some white in the back. So it'll stand out a bit better. In between here. Okay. Alright, I'm going to take some black again so we can see the eye really good. There we go. Good. And then I'm going to put in a snout. That's all you need to do. So put your black in here, and then a little dot of white, and some white around the nose. Now we will get some purple, and we will shape up the face. So here we have a little mouth right there, and we have this little part of the face coming down. Here I'm just using a chiseled edge brush, synthetic. Trying to get the shapes, make sure we get our shapes correct. Good. It's a better shape. So here there was a separation, so we'll put the dark purplish color there, separate there, and then spread out that shadow so it separates the leg. So you can see that nice leg there, see? That's better. And then we're going to try to see where the shadows go. Just cleaning up some of the shadows. See, it's not so hard now because you have all your shadows in place, so you don't have to guess. So you just go over your shadows again just to darken them up. See? All right. So we're still using a purple color for the shadows. So I'm just basically giving them a second coat to bring them out more. Nice shadows. Now anything you want to adjust, you can do that also, because I found that a bit too bright there. So I'll put that highlight back there in a second. Just want to kind of bring that in so it doesn't look like a line there, so that they blend together. So I'm just scrubbing it between those lines there. So smooth them out. See? Good. So we'll brighten up some of those areas. I got some white paint on my chiseled edge flat brush, and I'm trying to find places where I think might be brighter than others. So I'm thinking here might nice and bright. Almost white. So your brush don't have to be too dirty. There we go. So I'm just reloading with white. So all you're really doing is going back over your highlights and your shadows. See, once you get it started with your underpainting, and then you start. Okay, so we're going to bring out some of this here. Leave that shadow there. Don't want to lose all that. It's nice and bright here. Make sure you blend it all so it doesn't look like, you know, the separation to two lines. You can just, when your brush is empty with not much paint on it, you can just kind of scrub at that area there to blend it together so it softens up the line. All right. There we go. I'm trying to see now what way that goes there. Okay. That's nice. Good. Just going to brighten up a little bit here more. I'm going to leave a bit of a shadow there. Leave that shadow there. I'm just going to scrub that, soften up that line there. And there's a shadow. The shadow's not that big. I'm just scrubbing at that so I can soften up the line. Just coming down the back on that other side there. Back up here. We're almost done with our shadows. Or highlights, I should say. Just scrubbing in now. Those two lines there just to soften up those lines. There we go. Good. Now, because it's a unicorn and it's a fantasy painting, you can add a little bit of color to it. I add a little tiny bit of yellow, but you don't have to do that if you don't want to. But yeah, you can add a little bit of color if you want to, but I don't. I rather the white, I think. I like to experiment, but sometimes experiments don't work out as good as you'd like it. So just stick with your white if you want. The yellow looks kind of nice, but it's too close to the background, and I don't think that's a good idea. All right, so I'm going to make a bit of purple. And I'm going to fix that shadow up there. Just trying to blend those lines so that they don't look too separated. So I'm just going to soften that up there. There we go. Good. Soften it up here. Add a little bit more white to my brush. So you have to go over it every now and then just to see if you can get what you're looking for. I'm not fussy about that yellow, so I'm going to put in a light purple, then I'm going to go over it with white. Alright. I don't mind showing you these. I mean, I could skip these steps and just do it and then come back over, but I like showing you what you can and can't do and how you can fix things when things go wrong. Alright. Because that's part of the way I want to teach. I want to teach you how to fix your mistakes. A lot of people email me and say, this didn't work out and I messed up the colors and this and that. And that way I can help you fix things up when you need to. Okay, so clean off your brush and just smooth this out a bit. Like I said, I'm trying to get that soft edges, right? Soften up your edges so that they don't look. There you see how the difference when you soften up those edges? Right? And the paint's it's a bit tacky. That gets it to move it around. See? It's better. Now, like I said, when that dries, I may put another coat of white on there so I can get it more of a to the color that I was going to try earlier. There we go. Good. Soften up the edge and away to go. All right. Good. Now, if you find it too dark there, just scrub at it. It's still a bit damp. See, that will soften it up. See that? Nice. I'm going to add a bit of white on the tail. I already got some white down here, which is nice. I'm just going to bring it up a little bit more. Maybe a little bit on the top of the tail here. Good. The face looks good. Now we're going to need to bring this mane back in here. So just keep, with the chisel edge of your brush, just pull it in. Good. So with white, and your chisel edge brush, start at the top and pull in. So we'll bring in lots of it. That'll be nice. There we go. That looks nice. I'm going to bring some in from the other side as if it was just coming in from the other side. Good. Now, never mind what the reference photo was doing. We're going to do our own thing. So I'm just going to pull some down here in the front. There we go. So we'll put one coat on of that, and when it dries, we'll put on more. So right now, we'll just get it started. So we'll keep adding it up like that. It's cute. Let's see if I can get some more white in there. When it dries, you can put on another coat. Try to get your chisel edge to do all the shapes for you. Just using white. Cool. There we go. pretty. Pretty, pretty. See, all we do were highlights, lowlights. Okay. Nice. Now I'm going to take my chiseled edge flat brush and I'm going to put black, some burnt sienna, and I'm going to darken up these trees because we're in a mystical forest, so I'm thinking that maybe they should be a little darker. So now we can start cleaning up our trees, shaping up whatever way you want. You can have like little bumps on them just to give them an odd shape, because it's a fantasy forest, so you can have whatever kind of trees you want. You don't want them to be too regular. Alright, so I'll get these out here. A bit of a bump there. Just have some fun. Now the highlights that you did on the edge, you can leave those there or you can add more. There we go. That's better. It's nice and dark. So black and burnt sienna. Not totally mixed together, but okay, so I'm gonna clean up these trees. Little squiggly lines coming up. Go around. Even take one off of this one and just make the letter S, or just squiggle it out at the edge. It's much better. It gives it more of a fantasy look to it, right? nice and bright here, and then blend it over with the dark one, just so it doesn't look like it's just stopped suddenly. Just whatever's left over in your brush, just move it over a little bit there so it all blends. Same with here. See? You spread it out so it looks like it's coming over towards here. Now get your dark green. So you can put that over here. Just tap, tap, tap. See how that dark really looks nice, brings out the brighter ones. Just adding a little bit of highlight in here. Just do whatever you want. I'm just lightening up some of it there so that the darks and the lights look nice together and it's not just one. But that's nice, isn't it? I'm going to put some dark green, bit of a shadow, I think. So because light is shining on the right side of these trees, the shadow will be in the back. So I'm just thinking maybe dark shadow here. It kind of looks nice. Shadows. And I'm not sure, the shadow will be going this way, over here. It's kind of nice too, that gives it a nice there we go. And maybe there's some shadow under the feet. Well, his feet are buried in the see, the shadow's on that side. Light is on that side, so maybe it's a bit, just gonna try a little bit of shadow here, not much, just maybe. Yeah, why not? Why not? You can do this because it's a magical forest or it's a fantasy forest, so you can add whatever you want to it. So the only thing left I want to do is I want to put something here that the unicorn is looking at. I'm thinking maybe a butterfly or a little fairy or something. I'm going to put a little bit of white around the lip there, just so you can see it, because you can't really see where the little mouth part is. Just something there to show you that it's there. Alright. So, put that down there like that. There we go. There we go, that's better. At least now you can see it. up a little bit. All right. Put a little bit up here. A little bit more white up here. It's good. A couple little eyelashes. Or should they be white or black? I wonder. Not sure. The black ones? I don't know. It's just. It is a fantasy, remember? So you can do anything you want. Before I do that, I do want to give some of those tree leaves a little more highlight. Alright, so let's take out our brush, our chip brush, magic brush, whatever you want to call it, and make some green and add a bit of yellow to it to brighten it up. Alright. We're just going to basically tap over some of the ones we already did, just to give it more dimension. Just tapping into some yellow. I'm just going to tap over some of the ones I already did. I want to keep some of the dark. Just brighten them up a little bit. Do the other side. I'm just tapping over so I don't lose the dark. Just tapping on some of the lighter color there. Good. That's nice. So your brush will do the work for you. There we go. That brightens it up a little bit better, see? Don't need much. I'm going to add a few extra leaves. Just push a little harder and push in between the empty spots there. That's all. There we go. So, I'm thinking maybe a little dress. Make it big enough so that it can be seen. So that would be a little dress or something. And get some wings. Some wings. And a little head. some here. So we'll just paint it in. Just get some color. I'm going to put red in here. Red dress, whatever they have. Whatever fairy has. I'm going to have some blue wings, light blue wings. I didn't mix my colors together so the white would stand out too between. And this one here. I'm using my liner brush. Good. Now you can put whatever you want there. And if you do a fairy, you can always make up your own colors. And I'm going to give her black here, I think. She's so cute. And some legs. So I'm going to put some flesh tone there, which is yellow. Bit of yellow, bit of red. A little bit of burnt sienna. And white. There we go. So I'll just put that on her face there. And some legs. Some legs. Now, leg coming out here, a leg coming out here. I'll have to darken them up with the burnt sienna because you can't see them. Then I put some highlight on. She's floating, so legs are just dangling. So now I'm going to take the flesh tone with some white so I can lighten it up a little bit. I'll just put the light on here. Maybe a little red pair of shoes, who knows? There we go. And what else? What else? That's about it. A little or something. They don't need much there. I'll leave her face to the imagination. And maybe she has little arms. She has a little arm coming down here, behind her back. Just use your imagination, and it's like she's reaching out to the one arm's back here like this somehow. Let's put a bit of white on the edge. Don't have to worry about seeing it too much. Just for your imagination. It's cute. It is so cute. Kind of liking the hair. Yeah, I want her to have lots of hair. See, you can do whatever you want. There we go, that's nice. I want it to be a lot of hair. Oh my, I won't stop. I don't know, I just can't, because it's a fantasy, so I want it to be like, do whatever you want. It's cute. Good. A little bit of highlight in her hair, not much. There we go. Highlight on her arm. To make it stand out a bit. So you don't have to worry about the other arm. It's under her hair. A bit of highlight on her legs. And shoes. I think I want to call it finished, you know? I guess there's lots more you could do, but I don't know. I think it's kind of cute. Nice. Little fantasy forest with a unicorn, and so I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope that you will try one of your own. And that will be it for now, so I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now from Allison Prior.